Hey everybody, welcome back to Kill by Daylight. So, the day is finally here where they unveiled the Tools of Torment chapter. The next chapter we're going to get, the next actual content drop that we're actually going to get that's not a limited time cosmetic event or like a special like holiday event. Actual new stuff, new perks and new characters. PTB is out today, patch notes are out today, and we get a new killer and 2 new survivors. Deuce, 2 of them. And I have a theory to why, but we'll get into that when we get into them. But the killer, I'm torn. I'm conflicted. Behavior, you're tearing me apart, Kote, for a reference, I guess. On one hand, I've watched the gameplay, how she plays, what she can do, what her kit is, and what her add-ons are, and I'm like, oh my god, she's actually interesting. She looks fun to play against and as. Holy crap, it's been, I don't remember, Dredge. I think the Dredge was the last one where I was like, oh my god, they're cool. Cool power, cool mechanics, cool to play against and as, cool, yay. It's been a while. It's been almost a full year since that happened. But I'm like, I'm looking at this kit like, okay, she puts out a drone. Anybody who stands in it is basically stalked, like Ghostface stalks, their meter fills up, and they can be downed instantly. They become exposed. That's great. You stand in, if she herself stands in her drone, she becomes undetectable. That's great. If somebody disarms the drone, you can track them on your little Tamagotchi you got. That's awesome. That looks so unique and not just, I put my power down and now you have to leave the loop. Cool. Knight was that. Artist was that. That's boring. This killer actually looks like if you're at an LT wall, you plop down your drone and the survivor has to leave or else they are instantly downable. There's an actual reason to leave the loop instead of, I put my guard down and the guard will chase you, or I put my bird down at this window, you can't vault that or you'll take damage. It actually looks interesting. She looks good. Looks great. My problem, 1, the name? The Skull Merchant. That's what we came up with. That's what we really came up with and said, yeah, that's the final version. What was left on the cutting room floor? That's what I want to know, because the Skull Merchant, cringe. I read that today and went, ugh. Visibly, my shoulders went, ugh. Went up, like, ugh. I had no neck for a little bit. It was crazy. It is edgelord levels of cringe. And I don't care what her lore is. It could be the most badass lore anyone has ever gotten. Explains why she's the Skull Merchant. I don't care. I refuse to call her the Skull Merchant. Absolutely, I refuse to call her the Skull Merchant. I'm gonna call her Scully. Who we facing? Oh, it's a Scully. Cool. Or I'll just learn her real name. I think it was Aldrina. That's what it said on one of the blueprints in the teaser. Who are we playing? Oh, it's Aldrina. Okay, cool. That's it. I refuse to call her the Skull Servant. I refuse. It's cringe? Cringe name. My second problem. It's her design. Her design, right? It's boring. It is basic. It doesn't scream killer. That's my problem. She looks like a bad Kano cosplay. Nothing about her. If you took away her mask and her Wolverine claw, you'd be, oh, we're getting 3 survivors this chapter. That's unique. She doesn't look like a killer. I get it. I get her whole motif they're going with. I get it. She's a hunter. She hunts humans, the smartest prey, or whatever movie quote that is. I get it. There are a ton of movies where the killer hunts people for sport. There's that great one set in the Australian outback. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's great. It's great. It's amazing. And to be honest, it's a good concept for a killer in DBD. Her design is just generic. Like I said, it doesn't scream, oh, that's a killer. You look at anybody else in this game, you go, oh, That's recognizable. I know they're the bad one. You look at her, she's a baddie, not a bad one, right? She has olive green overalls, a white button-up shirt that is buttoned just enough so there's some cleave, and she has a bedazzled Kano mask. I know they're gonna be like, oh, she handcrafted that to her face to be, I don't care, it looks bedazzled. It looks bedazzled. And you know what? Everything I just said isn't even the biggest problem. Because I guarantee, I'll make a guarantee. Day one, she's gonna get some kick-ass cosmetics. It's Behavior's original character. They're gonna put out some kick-ass cosmetics for her day one, and her genericness won't be a problem. The real problem comes from the game itself, I think, and she's another human killer. She's another human. There isn't anything wrong with her unless in her lore there's a reason why she has a gas mask on, but she's not corrupted by the blight. She's not infected with the plague. She's not a ghost. She is a normal human being. She is Legion levels of normal human. That's my biggest problem. Behavior, you created a horror game. You guys do know that horror has some very iconic monster designs in it, right? Give me some monsters. No more bipedal human killers. Please, do something unique and interesting. I want Jason Voorhees and Springtrap in this game real bad. But now all I want is that spider monster that you teased in the tomes. I want a Camazotz-like bat demon. I want a werewolf. I want monsters more than Mrs. Voorhees' baby boy. Do you know how insane that is for me? Do you know how that's where I'm at right now? I want a bat demon more than I want Jason goddamn Voorhees in this game. Give me a monster. Give me a creature. I know VHS has those though, and they don't want to copy. Fuck them. VHS looks great, don't get me wrong. I hope it comes to console soon so I can play it. And they also need to bump up those queue numbers apparently. But just because they did it doesn't mean you can't, okay? Put your own unique spin on a werewolf, on a creature of the Black Lagoon, of a spider creature that you teased. Give me some creatures. The name is bad. Don't get me wrong, I hate the name. The design is boring, but again, legendary cosmetics and just day one cosmetics, unless they treat her like Hattie, will be making her more unique. But she doesn't stand out. She just doesn't stand out. That's been a 9-minute rant. I believe OBS is telling me to shut the hell up and get on with the video. So timestamps are important. Yeah, timestamps are important. Me, future me, that's a note to you. Remember those. Let's get into what this actually is. We'll speed through it real quick so I don't waste your time any more than I have. Her perks, I really haven't paid attention to them. I watched the gameplay, I didn't really pay attention to the perks. So, game afoot. While you're chasing the Obsession, this perk activates damaging generators and destroying breakable walls and pallets, gives you 5% haste for 8, 9, 10 seconds. Whenever you hit the survivor with the total most time in chase with a basic attack, they become the Obsession. Killer can only be obsessed with one survivor at a time. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know. The whole, damaging gens, destroying breakable walls and pallets gives you a 5% haste? Okay, you're in a chase. You're chasing the Obsession. And they drop a pallet. You break that pallet. Now you have 5% haste to catch up quicker. That with, like, brutal strength? Okay. Maybe. And then you're chasing that person. You hit them with your basic attack. They're now the Obsession. If they're not already. And then they drop a pallet, you break it quicker, you catch up, and you can down. Okay, there's some stuff there. There's a little too much that needs to be done to happen with it, but I could see it. Thwack. Yeah, that one stands out to me. Thwack. After hooking a survivor performing break action on the next breakable wall or pallet will make survivors within 32 meters scream and reveal their aura for 4 seconds. Thwack is active for 45, 60, 75 seconds after the hook, survivor's hook. Okay. So it's basically Pop Goes the Weasel, but for aura revealing. So you hook a survivor, you walk over to a pallet a little bit away, maybe next to a 2-gen or a 3-gen. You kick that pallet or break up a wall, and then within your terror radius, because from what I understand, she is a basic killer. Going back to the design talk, she's a basic killer with the 32-meter terror radius, and normal walk speed, nothing unique. So anybody in your terror radius are revealed for 4 seconds. Okay. Alright. I could see it. It seems like a good perk, or an okay perk. Leverage. Each time you hook a survivor, you gain 1 token up to 10. When you hook a survivor, this perk activates for each token, reduce the speed at which survivors heal by 3, 4, 5% for 30 seconds. You had me until the time duration. Until the duration. It's like, oh, 10 tokens. That's 50% reduced healing speed. But it's like when you hook a survivor, it activates. If it worked, if it activated when somebody unhooked a survivor you just recently hooked, then I'd be like, okay, that stops people from healing under the hook. Because if they have like 50% reduced heal speed, you're not gonna heal under the hook because I can just walk over there and interrupt. And she's gonna be a basic attack killer. A basic's just in there. Basic is just this killer, apparently. So Sloppy Butcher's gonna be great on her. So this just goes with that, right? Or I could just run Sloppy Butcher and not this perk. Yeah, no, that's a good argument. Next up, Thalita Lyra and Renato Lyra. They are siblings, I believe, until I'm proven otherwise. These are the 2 new survivors. Before we get into the perks, I saw this, like, oh, 2 survivors. That means the anniversary event, which is the next time we will get a killer, which is 3 months from when this releases. It releases March 7th. 3 months from then, June, that's the anniversary. We're gonna get a paragraph for the anniversary event, aren't we? That makes you think about what licenses they can't get survivor likeness rights to. Anybody from, oh, say, Camp Crystal Lake, you know, or certain animatronic pizza restaurant, which also, by the way, I'm gonna make a bold ass prediction here. Next year, next anniversary event, the 8th year anniversary event, that's when we're getting FNAF, because that's when the movie will be out, and we go, oh, we have somebody that we can model a survivor after in whoever's playing Michael Afton. Yep. So 2024, the year of FNAF to DVD. I'm calling my shot now and gonna die on that hill. Yeah, I think the anniversary event is going to be a licensed killer that is not going to come with a survivor because we have 2 survivors here. That's my bold prediction. So new survivor, Thalita Lyra. Perks, cut loose. After performing a rushed vault in a chase, this perk activates while active. Your rushed vaults are silent for up to 4, 5, 6 seconds. Successfully performing a rushed vault during that time resets the timer. This perk goes on cooldown for 45 seconds. So this is, I read this confusingly. While it's active, your rushed vaults are silent for 4 or 5, 6 seconds. And successfully performing a rushed vault during that time resets the timer. But then it goes on cooldown for 4. Okay, so you can only refresh the timer once, I'm assuming. It's stuff we're gonna have to play, and test out and play as, because I haven't seen anything on the survivors. Friendly competition! Whenever you finish repairing a generator with at least 1 other survivor, perk activates. You and other survivors who finished repairing a generator get a 5% increased repair speed for up to 75 seconds. Survivors can only have 1 instance of this perk's ability active at once. Cool, so this is gonna stack, no doubt, with Prove Thyself. Stop adding randomness to gen speeds. That's all I'll say. Anything that increases repair speed is bad for the game. But here we are. 5% isn't much, and even if you and that other person stack on the other next gen, it's only 10%. The problem is it's stacking with Prove Thyself. That's where we get into trouble. Teamwork, power of 2. Because we have collective stealth down there. Which makes me think we're gonna get more of this subclass of perk. Because it reads like boon, thing. That's how it reads. Whenever you finish healing other survivors, you both move 5% faster as long as you stay within 12 meters of the survivor you healed, or until one of you loses a health state. Teamwork power of 2 can only trigger once every 140 seconds. Survivors affected by 1 at a time. Okay. What was that other perk? Was it a Cheryl perk? Or not a Cheryl perk? It was another perk where it's like, oh, after you heal somebody, if you're within 16 meters, something happens. I remember that being a perk, unless I'm just like delirious. Maybe. Renato Lyra. Background player. After you unhook another survivor, break into a sprint at 150 of your normal running speed for 6 seconds and gain exhaustion. What the fuck? What? Hold on. After you oh god. What? After you unhook another survivor, break into a sprint at 100. So you get sprint burst after unhooking a survivor? Huh. That makes me want to dive hook even more. Oh, dive hook, take the hit, unhook, and then just go sprint burst away. I don't see a point of this perk. Blood Rush. This perk activates when you are 1 hook away from instant death. So you're on 2nd hook state. While healthy, running, and suffering from exhaustion, press active ability 1 to lose a health state and recover from exhaustion instantly and gain broken. What the fuck? Gain broken status for 20 seconds. You're automatically healed from injured to healthy after 20 seconds. Being put in a dying state will cancel the healing effect. Activating Blood Rush will disable it for the remainder of the trial. Okay. You had me in the first half. Okay, so if you are on Death Hook... Okay, you're on Death Hook. You can press your ability button, and you will recover from exhaustion instantly. You will gain the broken status effect for 20 seconds, and after that 20 seconds, you are automatically healed. So... Okay, so you run this perk with Sprint Burst. You get unhooked, you're on hook 2. You get unhooked, you sprint burst away, the killer comes to tunnel you. You activate this ability, you become broken, and you get sprint burst back immediately. You can sprint burst away, and then 20 seconds later, you're full of health. Okay. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Okay. Collective stealth. Whenever another survivor finishes healing you both. When they finish healing you. Oh, okay. You both leave no scratch marks as long as you stay within 12 meters until you're healed and blah blah blah. Weird. They go in tandem, but they both kind of suck. Cool. This one is gonna be niche. Game of Foot. 5% haste, not that much, but it's enough to catch up with somebody who just bonked you on the head with a pallet. So there's that. This actually might replace, like, Nemesis, right? Because it's pretty freaking easy. Whenever you hit a survivor at the total most time in chase with a basic attack, they become an obsession. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell when that happens, but, you know, whatever. Leverage, it's kind of meh, because 30 seconds, and whenever you hook a survivor, it activates, not when they unhook somebody. I feel like that would be better. This thwack could be kind of good. You run this and Nowhere to Hide, and you got an aura reading build. Survivors, Cut Loose, Rushed, just run Quick and Quiet. Just run Quick and Quiet. It goes on cooldown for 45 seconds. Quick and Quiet goes on cooldown for like 30. I know my choice. Friendly competition, just run Prove Thyself. You do it anyway, just run, you're gonna run this and Prove Thyself with toolboxes and a brand new part. I know how the meta goes. Teamwork Power 2 is... Why? After you fully heal somebody, at least in solo queue, they fucking run the opposite direction of you because it's smarter to run away from the person who healed you and go work on a separate gen as each other to split pressure. You're not gonna stay within 12 meters of somebody. That's dumb. Background player. This is interesting. At least it's interesting. After you unhook a survivor, you get sprint burst. Sure. I could see using background player with blood rush. Being on second, on death hook, diving in at full health, getting the unhook, taking the protection hit, and sprint bursting away. Right, the killer comes to chase you. He's like, "Oh, you're on death hook." You pop blood rush, you get sprint burst instantly, go away, and then you full health. I could see running this. I think this is going to be a good perk. And the collective stealth is ass, just like the other one. Shelter Woods did get an update. They added more to it, so it's not as just desolate wasteland, so that's nice. The high life indeed, yeah. It's neat from what I've seen. This patch will also include the Red Forest update, Temple of Purgation and Mother's Dwelling. That's neat. They're actually visually updating Hattie, which is something. Visual improvement to eyes and hair shape, and color. That's the important one. Adjusted to be more reflective of her lore, because her hair in the lore is not blue, it's white. And everybody's like, why? I get it. The multiverse. This is not the same Hattie from the lore, but her lore in-game reflects that she has a white streak of hair, and it's blue in-game. So that's nice that they're actually giving Hattie some love. They said they're gonna give her some cosmetics down the line too. They also said they're giving characters that rarely get cosmetics more cosmetics in the future. So my boy Jeff might be actually getting some cosmetics. That's nice. Added blood to her prestige hair, visual update to her uncommon skin makeup, icons and portrait update. Nice. This is also the one with map repeat prevention, loadout timeout. Loading timeout. And after analyzing the data on our side, we've established a set of expected loading times for each of the steps while loading into a trial. As a result, if any player crashes or hangs while loading, we will now be able to return everyone to the tally much earlier. What the fuck is the tally? Is that the next killer? The tally. See how I made a joke in one of the fucking update videos about the Terminator confirmed, and then we got teases for a Terminator-like character and never got him. Reporting players, we now had an option to report a player from the online lobby. Cool. Perk changes, any means necessary, remove the cooldown. I don't think it's going to see play because it's still ass. That's the one where you could pick up a drop pallet. It's niche, and it had a cooldown for some reason. Now it doesn't. Eruption, after King of Gen, its aura is highlighted in yellow whenever a survivor enters the dying state. The generator explodes, losing 10% worth of current progress. It used to be 10% of total progress, which was like, or just 10%, which was like bad, and starts to regress. Any survivor repairing a gen when it explodes will scream, reveal their aura for 12 seconds, instead of being disabled from doing anything in the trial. And then it goes on cooldown for 30 seconds. This is a good change. This is a good change. I said in a video, I think, I haven't really run into Eruption, and then I started running into it. So yeah, it's a pretty big pain in the ass, especially in solo queue. But now it's not gonna be that bad, maybe. We'll see. It's another thing, like, we'll see. Bot in-game, bot matches, customs. You can now add loadouts. Cool. Now they're better bots now. They now respond better. Bug fixes. We're gonna have scream when getting hooked to make it sound more natural? What? If ending a trial as the Cenobite while in the gateway, playing the next trial as the Cenobite will cause the killer's sounds to be muffled? That's bad. Updated nurse's power description. Dredge no longer becomes invisible while teleporting into a locker at the same time as survivor. No longer gains blood loss when what the fuck? He gained blood loss when teleporting to lockers? That's weird. The gloaming can no longer be incorrectly cancelled while charging. A bunch of dredge shit. Trickster, no longer cool, Trickster. A bunch of bug fixes. That's neat. This is dumb. This is dumb. The Knight's Guardia Campagna can now be canceled by head-on. You can now head-on stun a ghost. I mean, like a non-playable ghost, not like Spirit or Wraith. You can now head-on play a ghost guard. Blah. All right, cool. Killer Shack loop in the Garden of Joy is no longer disrupted by debris. That's nice. No longer be able to climb on top of or get trapped in eerie crows. That's pretty good. The pallets and decimated Borgo no longer fail to shake when kicked. Weird. Now, constantly open the character info menu while in the lobby. Correctly wrong character buttons. Cool. Drone scan lines can be used to see through breakable walls. What? Blood Warden is kill switch due to bug. Did it make Blood Warden actually good? Or like, what's up with that? Azeroth's kill switch due to a placeholder bug. What? That's weird. That's the patch. That's gonna be the next update, March 7th. All in all, it looks pretty good. Name and design problems aside, I'm actually pretty excited for the killer. I'm pretty excited to see her in the game. I know people are saying like, oh, she's not powerful, she's not strong. I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. There's 3 weeks until she's released, and as always, they're probably gonna do tweaks in between then. So if she's underpowered now, I could see her being brought up a little bit, maybe increasing some things. I think Pixel said make one of her add-ons base kit, which is what a lot of people are saying apparently. We'll see. But I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm actually looking forward to all of this. This looks pretty kick-ass. Pretty kick-ass. And now I gotta save up 3 million blood points to put into 3 characters. But that is my problem and my problem alone at this point. But that'll do it for this video. I just want to let you all know, little end cap. Gameplay will be resuming soon. Again, I was like dealing with bad internet, just bad. But hopefully everything's sorted out now. So gameplay hopefully up soon. But that'll do it for this video. Let me know what you think about this chapter. Again, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. But until then, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed what you heard, I guess, hook the like button, more subscribe button, bing bong that bell, and until next time, I will see you in the fog. Good luck.